Good morning. Today's Bible reading comes from 2 Chronicles 27 and Isaiah 9 through 12. All right. Let me get to the Chronicles. King Jotham. Jotham was 25 years old when he became king. He reigned 16 years at Jerusalem. His mother was Jerusha, the daughter of Zadok. In God's eyes, he lived a good life, following the path marked out by his father Uzziah. Unlike his father, though, he didn't desecrate the temple of God, but the people pushed right on in their lives of corruption. Jotham constructed the upper gate of the temple of God, considerably extended the wall of Ophel, and built cities in the high country of Judah and forts and towers down in the forest. He fought and beat the king of the Ammonites. That year the Ammonites turned over 3¼ tons of silver and about 65,000 bushels of wheat and another 65,000 bushels of barley. They repeated this for the next 2 years. Jotham's strength was rooted in his steady and determined life of obedience to God. The rest of the history of Jotham, including his wars and achievements, are all written in the royal annals of the kings of Israel and Judah. He was 25 years old when he became king. He reigned for 16 years in Jerusalem. Jotham died and was buried in the city of David. His son Ahaz became king. Oh my goodness. Oh, and now Isaiah. But there'll be no darkness for those who are in trouble. Earlier he did bring the lands of Zebulun and Naphtali into disrepute. But the time is coming when he'll make that whole area glorious. The road along the sea, the country past the Jordan, international Galilee. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. For those who lived in the land of deep shadows, light, sunburst of light. You repopulated the nation. You expanded its joy. Oh, they're so glad in your presence. Festival joy. The joy of a great celebration, sharing rich gifts and warm greetings. The abuse of oppressors and cruelty of tyrants. All their whips and clubs and curses is gone, done away with. A deliverance as surprising and sudden as Gideon's old victory over Midian. The boots of all those invading troops, along with their shirts soaked with innocent blood, will be piled in a heap and burned, a fire that will burn for days. For a child has been born for us, the gift of a son for us. He'll take over the running of the world. His names will be Amazing Counselor, Strong God, Eternal Father, Prince of Wholeness. His ruling authority will grow, and there'll be no limits to the wholeness he brings. He'll rule from the historic David throne over the promised kingdom. He'll put that kingdom on a firm footing and keep it going. With fair dealing and right living, beginning now and lasting always. The zeal of God of the angel armies will do all this. The Master sent a message against Jacob. It landed right on Israel's doorstep. All the people soon heard the message, Ephraim and the cities of Samaria. But they were a proud and arrogant bunch. They dismissed the message, saying, "Things aren't that bad. We can handle anything that comes. If our buildings are knocked down, we'll rebuild them bigger and finer. If our forests are cut down, we'll replant them with finer trees." So God incited their adversaries against them, stirred up their enemies to attack. From the east, Arameans. From the west, Philistines. They made hash of Israel. But even after that, he was still angry, his fist still raised, ready to hit them again. But the people paid no mind to him who hit them, didn't seek God of the angel armies. So God backed off Israel's head and tail, palm branch and reed, both on the same day. The big-headed elders were the head, the lying prophets were the tail. Those who were supposed to lead this people led them down blind alleys, and those who followed the leaders ended up lost and confused. That's why the master lost interest in the young men, had no feeling for their orphans and widows. All of them were godless and evil, taking filth and folly, talking filth and folly. And even after that, he was still angry, his fist still raised, ready to hit them again. Their wicked lives raged like an out-of-control fire, the kind that burns everything in its path. Trees and bushes, weeds and grasses filling the skies with smoke. God of the angel armies answered fire with fire. Set the whole country on fire. Turn the people into consuming fires, consuming one another in their lust. Appetites insatiable, stuffing and gorging themselves left and right with people and things. But still they starved. Not even their children were safe from their greedy hunger. Manasseh ate Ephraim and Ephraim Manasseh, and then the two ganged up against Judah, and after that he was still angry, his fist still raised, ready to hit them again. Doom to you who legislate evil, who make laws and make victims, laws that make misery for the poor, that rob my destitute people of dignity, exploiting defenseless widows, taking advantage of homeless children. What will you have to say on Judgment Day when doomsday arrives out of the blue? Who will get you? Who will you get to help you? What good will your money do you? A sorry sight you'll be then, huddled with the prisoners, or just some corpse stacked in the street. Even after all this, God is still angry, his fist still raised, ready to hit them again. Doomed to Assyria, weapon of my anger, my wrath is a club in his hands. I send him against a godless nation, against the people I'm angry with. I command him to strip them clean, rob them blind, and then push their faces in the mud and leave them. But Assyria has another agenda. He has something else in mind. He's out to destroy utterly, to stamp out as many nations as he can. Assyria says, "Aren't my commanders all kings? Can't they do whatever they like? Didn't I destroy Calno as well as Carchemish? Hamath as well as Arpad? Level Samaria as I did Damascus? I've eliminated kingdoms full of gods far more impressive than anything in Jerusalem and Samaria. So what's to keep me from destroying Jerusalem in the same way I destroyed Samaria and all her god idols?" When the Master is finished dealing with Mount Zion and Jerusalem, he'll say, "Now it's Assyria's turn. I'll punish the bragging arrogance of the king of Assyria, his high and mighty posturing, the way he goes around saying, 'I've done all this by myself. I know more than anyone. I've wiped out the boundaries of the whole countries. I've walked in and taken anything I wanted. I charged in like a bull and toppled their kings from their thrones. I reached out my hand and took all that they treasured, as easily as a boy taking a bird's eggs from a nest egg. Like a farmer gathering eggs from the hen house, I gathered the world in my basket, and no one so much as fluttered a wing, or squawked, or even chirped. Does an axe take over from one who swings it? Does a saw act more important than the sawer? as if a shovel did its shoveling by using a ditch digger, as if a hammer used the carpenter to pound nails. Therefore, the Master, God of the angel armies, will send a debilitating disease on these robust Assyrian fighters. Under the canopy of God's bright glory, a fierce fire will break out. Israel's light will burst into a conflagration. The holy will explode into a firestorm, and in one day burn to cinders every last Assyrian thorn bush. God will destroy the splendid trees and lush gardens. The Assyrian body and soul will waste away to nothing. Like a disease-ridden invalid, a child could count what's left of the trees on the fingers of his two hands. And on that day also, what's left of Israel, the straggling survivors of Jacob, will no longer be fascinated by abusive, battering Assyria. They'll lean on God, the holy, yes, truly. The ragtag remnant, what's left of Jacob, will come back to the strong God. Your people Israel were once like the sand on the seashore, but only a scattered few will return. Destruction is ordered brimming over with righteousness, for the Master, God of the angel armies, will finish here what he started all over the globe. Therefore the Master, God of the angel armies, says, my dear, dear people who live in Zion, don't be terrorized by the Assyrians when they beat you with clubs and threaten you with rods like the Egyptians once did. In just a short time my anger against you will be spent, and I'll turn my destroying anger on them. I, God of the angel armies, will go after them with a cat-o'-nine tails and finish them off decisively, as Gideon downed Midian at the rock Horeb, as Moses turned the tables on Egypt. On that day, Assyria will be pulled off your back, and the yoke of slavery lifted from your neck. Assyria is on the move, up from Rimmon, on to Aiath, through Migron, with a bivouac at Michmash. They've crossed the pass, set camp at Geba for the night. Ramah trembles with fright, Gibeah of Saul has run off. Cry for help, daughter of Gallim. Listen to her, Laisha. Do something, Anatoth. Madmenah takes to the hills. The people of Gibeon flee in panic. The enemy soon at Nob, nearly there. At sight of the city he shakes his fist at the mount of dear daughter Zion, the hill of Jerusalem. But now, watch this. The Master, God of the angel armies, swings his axe and lops the branches, chops down the giant trees, lays flat the towering forest on the march. His axe will make toothpicks of that forest, that Lebanon-like army, reduced to kindling. A green shoot will sprout from Jesse's stump, from his roots a budding branch. The life-giving Spirit of God will hover over him. The Spirit that brings wisdom and understanding. The Spirit that gives direction and builds strength. The Spirit that installs knowledge and fear of God. Fear of God will be all his joy and delight. He won't judge by appearances, won't decide on the basis of hearsay. He'll judge the needy by what is right, render decision on earth's poor with justice. His words will bring everyone to awed attention. A mere breath from his lips will topple the wicked. Each morning he'll pull on sturdy work clothes and boots and build righteousness and faithfulness in the land. The wolf will romp with the lamb, the leopard sleep with the kid. Calf and lion will eat from the same trough, and a little child will tend them. Cow and bear will graze the same pasture. Their calves and cubs grow up together, and the lion eats straw like the ox. The nursing child will crawl over rattlesnake dens. The toddler sticks his hand down the hole of a serpent. Neither animal nor animal will hurt or kill on my holy mountain. The whole earth will be brimming with knowing God alive, a living knowledge of God, ocean deep, ocean wide. On that day, Jesse's root will be raised high, posted as a rallying banner for the peoples. The nations will all come to him. His headquarters will be glorious. Also on that day, the Master, for the second time, will reach out to bring back what's left of his scattered people. He'll bring them back from Assyria, Egypt, Pathros, Ethiopia, Elam, Shinar, Hamath, and the ocean islands. And he'll raise that rallying banner high, visible to all nations, gather in all the scattered exiles of Israel, put in all the dispersed refugees of Judah from the four winds and the seven seas. The jealousy of Ephraim will dissolve, the hostility of Judah will vanish. Ephraim no longer the jealous rival of Judah, Judah no longer the hostile rival of Ephraim. Blood brothers united, they'll pounce on the Philistines in the west, join forces to plunder the people in the east. They'll attack Edom and Moab. The Ammonites will fall into line. God will once again dry up Egypt's Red Sea, making for an easy crossing. He'll send a blistering wind down on the great river Euphrates, reduce it to 7 mere trickles. None need get their feet wet. In the end, there'll be a highway all the way from Assyria, easy traveling for what's left of God's people. A highway just like the one Israel had when he marched up out of Egypt. And you will say in that day, I thank you, God. You were angry, but your anger wasn't forever. You withdrew your anger and moved in and comforted me. Yes, indeed, God is my salvation. I trust. I won't be afraid. God, yes, God is my strength and song, best of all, my salvation. Joyfully you'll pull up buckets of water from the wells of salvation, and as you do it you'll say, give thanks to God, call out his name, ask him anything, shout to the nations, tell them what he's done, spread the news of his great reputation. Sing praise songs to God, he's done it all, let the whole earth know what he's done. Raise the roof, sing your hearts out, Hosea. The greatest lives among you, the Holy of Israel. And that is it for today's Bible reading. As always, get in touch with God today, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.